Hello, my name's Justin. Welcome to German Cooking, or Kaffeeklatsch, which is German for coffee and gossip. And that just means we're going to have a good old time today. All right, so let's get started. As soon as I figure this out. Jeez. All right, it might work now. So we'll see. All right, since we're starting off with the words coffee and gossip, we'll go into those meanings. The first known use was in 1598. It first appeared as kava or kava or kovi. I know I'm butchering these, but bear with me. In 1600, another variation came from the Dutch coffee, Turkish kava, or Arabic kawa, coffee. It might be the Kaffa region. It might be from the Kaffa region of Ethiopia. Of course, it's a drink that's made from roasted seeds of a tree originally native to Arabia and Abyssinia. So there's that. And gossip. It's a verb. It first appeared in the 1620s, meant to talk idly about the affairs of others. From gossip noun. Gossip noun, you say? Well, that the first known use of that was before the 12th century. Old English, it was God sib, sponsor, godparent, and from God, plus sib, relative. So God sib. Middle English appeared around 1300. A familiar acquaintance, a friend, a neighbor, especially to women friends invited to attend a birth. Oh boy. In the 1560s, anyone engaging in familiar or idle talk. In 1811, the gossip noun grew to mean trifling talk, groundless rumor, and from Old Norse it was gohosifa, and Old Saxon was gobsif. So there we go. All right. Normally, I would have to make the dough, but I have already done that. So what do we have in dough that we can talk about? Eggs. Egg, the noun. First known use was in 14th century. It was spelt with "nie" at the end, so egg. Northern England dialect from Old Norse egg. From Proto-Germanic Asia, source also of the Old Saxon, Middle Dutch, Dutch, Old High German, German, and Gothic dialect or words. From pi oyo, source of old egg, source of Old Church Slavonic Asia, Russian haku, Breton, Welsh, Greek un, Latin ovum. Could be derived from root word avi, which is bird. Okay, it's originally Norse derived. The spelling competed in Middle English with native ai from Old English egg. I'm butchering these. Became main spelling after 1500. Caxton, in 15th century, writes of a merchant, probably a North Countryman, in a public house on Thames who asked for eggs. And the good wife answered that she could speak no French. And the merchant was angry, for he also could speak no French, but would have had eggs, and she understood him not. She did, however, recognize another's customer's request for egg. So, the language, of course, was spread out a little bit. Um, it was a word that I shouldn't. That was a page I shouldn't have had in there. Okay, now dough. Since we're talking about dough, a noun, first pre-used, 12th century. Old English is doeg, going back to Germanic doeg, whence Middle Dutch diech, which means dough, or Old High German tig, Old Norse dag, Gothic dags, a blut, derivative from the base of dagan, digan to knead, shape, whence Gothic digan, gadigan to knead from clay, Indo-European dag, knead or shape. Excuse me while I wash my hands. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is to, after you make the dough, you let it rise until it doubles in size, if it does, and then you, of course, will flour a countertop space and roll it out, roll it out, and like I have done here. Now, it says to take softened butter and to spread it over the top, just like I have done. Now, you take and put some poppy seeds, filling, right on top of that. You know, this recipe brings back memories when I was a kid, and we'd have all sorts of family gatherings. Of course, I was quite young then, and a lot smaller, but we had fun in these gatherings. However, you know, times have changed. Too much Kaffeeklatsch going on, I suppose, and we don't always keep in touch anymore. In fact, getting recipes are like pulling teeth. But my dad had one, so that's okay. He was more than happy to help. Yes, this recipe's, I don't know how long it's been in our family, but it's been in a family a lot longer than me or my dad. So, hopefully, it will turn out all right. In fact, I know it will. I guarantee. You can probably obviously tell that cooking is not my primary source of income. That's all right. That I are speaking good, so working on my English degree helps. Now, what we want to do next is to spread some cinnamon and sugar on top, and we will not be stingy with this. No, sir. Yes, look at that. Yes, indeed. All right, now we shall take and dot the surface with pieces of butter, more butter. small bit of butter. As you can tell, I always wash my hands when I'm cooking. Now, butter, since we have just used enough to feed a whole family. First known use is pre-12th century, used as a verb in the 1400s, you know, as in, do you want me to butter your bread? Middle English is from, that was Middle English. From Old English, it was butur. From Latin, it was butirum. From Greek, it was botirum. I don't know. Poppy. First use of the word is pre-12th century. Late OE, popig. From West German, papau. From Vulgar Latin, papavum. From Latin, papaver, I think. Seed. First known use, pre-12th century. A lot of things pre-12th century. Old English is seed. From Proto-Germanic sidiz, seed. Also source of Old Norse, the source is Old Norse saud, Old Saxon sid, Old Frisian sid, Middle Dutch seid, Old High German seid, German sed. From pie, seti, sowing. From root, sit, to sow. I think. Poppy seed. Together, used as something you do in pastries, first known use was the 14th century. All right, cinnamon. Cinnamon is wonderful. The first known use was the 14th century. From Old French, cinnamon, 13th century. From Latin, cinnamomum. From Greek, kinemon. From a Phoenician word akin to Hebrew, kinemon. So it's got quite the history. It's a spice obtained from the inner bark of a tree. Related to the avocados, of all things, which is bizarre. Because I'm sure if we took the inner bark of an avocado tree and ground it up, it would not taste like this. It was first used in the 14th century. Old French cinnamon, 13th century, from Latin cinnamon. I've already gone through these. Ceylon cinnamon, the true cinnamon, is used in Britain, but American cinnamon is almost always from the related cassia tree of Southeast Asia and is stronger and sweeter. So apparently we don't use real cinnamon here. Sugar, first known use, 13th century. From Old French sucre, sugar, 12th century. From medieval Latin, sukurum. From Arabic, sukar. From Persian, shakur. From Sanskrit, shakara, ground or candied sugar. Originally, grit, gravel, cognate with Greek, croque, pebble. The Arabic word also showed up in Italian, zucchero, Spanish, azúcar, and German, Old High German, zucchura, German, zucker. I wonder if that has anything to do with Zuckerberg. And in some forms in other languages as well. Its Old World home, when it was first discovered by Western civilization, it was in India. Alexander the Great and his chums marveled at the stuff that tasted like honey without there being bees around. And it remained exotic in Europe until the Arabs began to cultivate it in Sicily and Spain. Not until after the Crusades did it, however, obtain widespread use in the West. The Spaniards in the West Indies began raising sugar cane in 1506. First grown in Cuba a couple decades later, cultivated in Brazil about a decade after that. The reason for the G in the English word is obscure. The Oxford English Dictionary compares flagon from French flacon, so the C changed to a G. The pronunciation shift from S to SH is probably from the initial long vowel sound su, as in sure. Now we got to move to the icing. Which I have done right here. You betcha. The icing is interesting. I think it tastes a lot like, it says buttercream frosting, but I think it tastes a lot like the Oreo filling. To do this, you'll need half a cup of softened butter, half a cup of shortening, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 5 cups powdered sugar, which is extraordinary, 3 tablespoons milk, 1½ tablespoons vanilla, and in a large bowl with cream, butter, and shortening, you mix everything. You do the powdered sugar a little bit at a time so it doesn't go poof, which I'm surprised it didn't do to me because I had to hurry up because I'm running out of time. We'll get to the shortening. Of course, since we're talking about the frosting now, first known use is the mid-16th century. First use in the baking sense, though, was 1796. So when you use shortening, it referred to a unit of measurement before. From shorten, make crumbly, it appeared in 1733. From short, adjective, easily crumbled, early 15th century, of having short fibers. This is the short in shortbread and shortcake. Salt, noun, first known use pre-12th century as a noun, verb, or adjective. So it was widespread use. Old English sieved, from Proto-Germanic saltum, which is a source of Old Saxon, Old Norse, Old Frisian, Gothic, salt, Dutch zout, German saus. So obviously it's had a lot of influences on the way it was pronounced and spelled. Powdered, since we did powdered sugar, first known use is in the 14th century, from Old French poudre, from poudre, see powdered now. So yeah, it sounds like it was a French word. Milk, noun, first known use pre-12th century, Middle English milk, from Old English milk, West Saxon, milk, Anglian, from Proto-Germanic milk, source would be Old Norse milk, Old Frisian milk, Old Saxon milk, Dutch milk, Old High German milk, German milch, Gothic milks, from milk to milk. Old German Slavonic noun mleko, Russian moloko, Czech mleko, is considered to be adopted from Germanic. Vanilla, I used a lot of vanilla in here, so we'll go with that. First known use is in 1662. From Spanish vanilla, vanilla plant, literally little pod. Diminutive of vaina, sheath. From Latin, vagina, sheath of an ear of grain, whole of a plant. See vagina. Apparently the pod holding vanilla seeds in kind of reminded someone of part of the female anatomy. Yeah. So when you get your stuff for the frosting, you're supposed to beat it until it's fluffy. Lots and lots of fluffiness. And since I just used fluffy, it's an adjective. First known use was in 1825 from the fluff noun. And I would guess it would come from clouds, but I didn't find that. All right. So, then you take it and roll it up. Just try to, no matter how well I do at this, I can't stop it from leaking all over creation. So, you get that, and then you take a buttered pan to put it in, and then since I have already pre-buttered the pan, you will take and put this in here. And we'll try to close up the ends as best we can, but knowing that we're going to fail anyways, don't feel so bad, because it's still going to taste delicious. Then we'll put it in the oven for about 25 minutes. We'll start off with 20 just to make sure you don't overcook it. Then you take, and here you are. Spread some icing on that baby. And there you go. So it should look better than this, but I can't roll tight, so mine always goes. All right, but I guarantee, no matter what you think it looks like, this will be the best German pastry you ever try. Ooh boy, you better believe it. So from my kitchen to yours. Thanks for stopping by and enjoying a little enjoying a little quality time with me, Justin Heinecke. Thank you, and have a good day.